as I mentioned this morning, today we are going to look at what it means to be a sacred woman, what it means to work with the sacred feminine. And we are going to look at also healing the wounded woman, because we can't really embody the sacred feminine if we deny the part of us that is wounded and which is perhaps in fear or in restriction and limitation. So we need to both work with our darkness, so to speak, and with the amazing potential that we can grow into. And one cannot really work with the other. You cannot have the day without the night. And they are both really great gifts that we can work with. And so, to begin with, I'll give you one of the handouts. So have a quick look at the charter. So these are really like basic, fundamental principles which I feel are very important to be able to live your life in a sacred way. We're going to clarify some of what that means, and we will, a bit later, really work in details with that. It gives you a bit of a sense of what is important. So first of all is sorting out your priorities in your life. Is your priority about self-preservation and fear and getting all you can? Or is it about love, humility, compassion, making something useful with your life, expressing yourself, joy, all these things? Something that we will talk about in a minute. Energy clearing. Keeping your energy clear. A lot of work, spiritual work, and especially with women, we tend to really have this need to create a sacred space. Sacred space to heal, whether it's a sacred ritual space through which we can say goodbye to a loved one who's just passed away, or a ritual of passage as we go from one phase in our life to another, or a sacred space simply in a house, for instance, a place where we can go to just resource and come back to ourselves and just rest and be at peace. And I like to work with ourselves as the sacred space. So it's not a place you go to, it's not something you do outside of yourself, although that can be a great thing to do as well, but also to take a sacred space with us everywhere we go. And that is done a lot through clearing, maintaining, protecting, nurturing our own energy and our energy field. Is everyone aware here of the fact that we have an energy body as well as a physical body? Yeah? Okay, that's good. Boundaries. Whoa, that's very important. And I meet so many people with clients and students that I work with who have trouble with boundaries. Often the problem is too weak boundaries, so it's like being a pleaser, letting people who have a bit of a stronger will than you perhaps, or who tend to push a little bit harder than you, letting these people run over you, get the better of you, letting yourself be influenced by things that perhaps you shouldn't let yourself be influenced by, letting people just have their way with you in any way that can be. So boundaries is very important. At the same time, you have to have boundaries with yourself as well. Not everything that's going to come through your head or any urges that's going to come through is not necessarily going to be constructive and loving and self-nurturing for yourself or for others. Feelings. Now we will do some work with feelings. Feelings are very important. Feelings they're the eyes of the heart. They are the way that we really can discover more about ourselves, more about our darkness as well as more about our joys. The feelings are like the messages that come through about things that perhaps we are not conscious of, that we're not acknowledging. And feelings are also the way to experience life itself. They are a way to just engage with life. If you went through life without feeling, it wouldn't be really exciting, would it? You'd just be going through life like a bit of a dead person, a bit of a zombie, So feeling just brings life into everything you do. And sometimes we have problems because we're trying to only feel the pleasant feelings, and we have a bit of reticence feeling the painful feelings. So we'll do some work with that in terms of making peace with the painful feelings and really acknowledging the gift that comes with them and the liberation that can come from allowing these feelings to just be felt and then released. Investing time and energy daily in honoring the sacredness within yourself and within everyone you meet and everything you meet. That's a very important thing, to see beyond the phenomena of what is happening, to really acknowledge that there is a part of the universe looking through the eyes of that other person back at you, and that you are yourself a part of the universe as well. This is the whole namaste kind of principle. embracing and enjoy the juiciness of Earth life, obviously. Being spiritual, living your life in sacredness doesn't mean that you don't enjoy having a physical body and all the beautiful things that having a physical body entails, and all the tactile experiences and the food and the drinks and the wind on your skin and the swim in the ocean, dancing, making love, all these things, but doing it in a healthy and self-loving way rather than a destructive way. Refuses to play victim. That's a big one. Whenever you perceive yourself as a big victim of your life, you disempower yourself. Because when you are the victim, you can't do anything to change your circumstances. And in any situation, you can always make a choice to do things differently, to see things differently, to behave differently. And so we always have a choice, therefore we always have the power. So we're never victims. And we'll look a little bit more into that lately, about how realizing that you're never a victim is really the beginning of empowerment, genuine empowerment. And perfectionism. Let's let go of perfectionism. What is being perfect? How do you know when you're going to be perfect? How will you know that's it? Today I have achieved absolute perfection. Really, that's never going to happen, is it? Perfection, as most people perceive it, is just an illusion. It's never going to happen. It's just something that doesn't really exist, that we all aim for and we try to reach, but we're never going to get there because it's not even a real thing. For me, perfection is about doing your best and making progress. Because the whole world, this planet, the universe, you, all these people around, we're all in the process of evolution. Even the universe itself is still evolving. Even the planet is still evolving. That means that it's never static. We're always moving. We're always going up the spiral of evolution. And so to recognize that trying to achieve perfection or being perfect or achieve the perfection that is reflected on the pages of magazine or any of that isn't going to work, because it's not real. It's an illusion. It's just a lie. Instead, being the best that we can be in our own unique way and simply making progress, always moving forward, is a big key. And finally, tuning into the highest, clearest presence and essence of the sacred feminine, as well as the sacred masculine, hopefully on a daily basis, definitely very regularly, so that these energies and presences become a major influence in your life. You start to invite these energies into your life, to co-create with you, to be influenced and healed and changed by these energies, and then bring these energies into everything you do and everything you are. And we'll do a process at the end of this workshop to really tap into that and to attune to that, so that you guys really, in your own unique way, get a real sense of what that feels like, and then you can keep working with that yourself. Cool. So let's begin with energy clearing and protection. Being a sacred woman means that you don't let all the conflicts of the world and everybody's wants and needs overrun you. Who has had some trouble with letting these things sometimes happen, whether it's the busyness of life or people's demands at work or the family or any of that really start to overrun your own space so much that you feel like you don't even have a space that's just your own anymore. Mm-hmm. Yeah? Yeah. Know that one? Mm-hmm. So that's part of it. Who has experienced sometimes meeting someone or having a conversation with someone and you felt okay before that, but when you leave the conversation you feel really drained or really down or really depressed? Yeah? Yeah. Who has experienced sometimes the feeling like suddenly you think about someone you haven't heard from for ages, and then shortly after they call or you meet them in the street or something like that? Yeah? Okay. So all of that is examples of energy interaction between you and other people. We need, first of all, to protect our energy and keep our boundaries strong so that anything that is less than unconditional love cannot come into our field to influence us. Now, what is unconditional love? Do you guys have a definition for that? Without judgment. Without judgment, yes. So it's love without judgment, yeah, definitely. How about unconditional love is love without conditions? Yeah. It's unconditional, isn't it? Love without condition means without judgment. It means without agendas, without games. It means without need. It's like, I love you as long as you fulfill my needs, but if you don't fulfill my need, I won't love you anymore. That's not unconditional love, it's conditional love. there's a condition. It's like, I love you if you do this, or you play this role for me, or you fulfill that need. And so unconditional love really takes a lot of strength of character, because it's really got to do more with being in love with love itself, rather than being in love if somebody does something.
It's a thing then, isn't it?
It's a thing, yeah. It becomes external. Conditional love is very much external, and it's very much has an element of fear to it, because really, if you can only love someone if they do something for you or they be something for you, then there's a sort of fear of losing them, or fear of not having your need fulfilled, or fear of, them not making you happy anymore. They're not in your make me happy box. So really, going into unconditional love means we really need to work on filling ourselves up with love and fulfilling our own needs from the inside, so that we don't need to take that from other people around us. And living as the sacred woman means that we really need to start with ourselves, and start by healing ourselves enough and being aware of our needs and wants, and being aware of our unconscious desires and unconscious fears, so that we can start to really heal and resolve and look after ourselves, so that we don't need to then rip other people's energy off to make ourselves feel better, basically. Yeah. And it's all a process of growth, and we all sometimes slip, and we all sometimes have issues with that. If somebody does something that really disappoints you or really pisses you off, and you get really triggered, and you just want, to send them straight to hell, and, but really, take a breath, look into yourself. Always bring it back to yourself. Okay, why am I angry? Why am I sad? No, it's nobody's feelings but yours. Nobody can make you feel anything that you're not choosing to let yourself feel. And you don't feel anything if there isn't something happening in you that needs attention, love, nurture, healing in some way. Yeah? Does that make sense to everyone?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. So the energy clearing and the boundaries start to kind of take care of that, because part of the energy, I'd call it energetic self-care. So it's clearing your energy, protecting your energy, and it's also coming back to your center, coming back to yourself. So that anything that happens in your life, you bring it back to yourself. Always, okay, I am not a victim here. I am feeling something. If I'm feeling something, means there's something happening in me that is, needs attention, needs healing, that I need to work with, that I need to strengthen, or that I need to let go, perhaps. And really, when you start working that way, you really, really can start to see that, oh my God, I can become the person that I really, really am at the deepest core of myself, where that spark of the sacred feminine resides, where that spark of the universe resides. Because the only thing that stops us from being that great ideal of the spirit that we are is all the layers of masks and patterns and fears and dysfunction that we've put on top of our beautiful essence, just to cope with life, because life is not always easy. When you're a small child and you come into the world, we all have to face certain challenges, dilemmas, deal with other people's emotions, and we're so sensitive as a little child. As a little child, we're like little sponges, we can feel everything that everyone's feeling. We can sense a lot more than just what is being said and done. And so we just do what we can to cope, to fit in, to be loved, to be accepted, to be approved of. And as part of that, we just, cover ourselves up with a few layers of stuff which is not really our most radiant essence, our infinite self. Great, so I will give you a little routine to take home after we do it, because I don't want you to start engaging the brain and read through things right now when we're going to do the process. Just know that these are here before you leave. Take it home with you. It's like a little energy clearing and aligning, centering routine that we're going to do now. And so you can keep working with that when you go home. That's something that I do every day, morning and evening. It only takes a few minutes, but it really sets my day. It puts me in the right place to do my best and be my best throughout the day. It's a very simple thing. Cool, so if you'd like to just, have your back straight, sit comfortably, but have your back straight so that the energy can flow. So we're going to breathe as well, and we're going to breathe all the way down into the tummy. So deep, deep, slow breath all the way down our being. And really relax. Just simply be here. Just Stop the thinking, stop the worrying, stop anything which is not about purely being fully present in this body, in this room, right here, right now. To really be with yourself, as yourself. And as we keep breathing, I'd like you to really see yourself surrounded by a golden bubble of light. Very intense, bright, strong golden light. Big bubble that surrounds your entire energy. So not just your physical body, but also your aura. So that all your mental, emotional, physical selves are wrapped up within this golden bubble of protection. To sense it, to imagine it, to feel it, to see it, to make it real through your intention. And really affirm for yourself that as you place this golden bubble of light around your being, this bubble of light serves as a shield of protection between you and the world around you, so that only energies of unconditional love, or higher vibration than that, can enter your field and influence you. The rest bounces off and back to whatever it came from. That golden bubble protects me from any negativity and anything below unconditional love. And I call forth the protection of the realms of love and light, and of the Goddess, to protect me against anything that is below unconditional love. I affirm that my protection is strong, steady, and absolute in love and light. Deep breath. And I'd like you to start, as you breathe into your heart center in the middle of your chest, extend down like a cord of light, down from your heart, down your body, down your legs, and shooting down all the way into the center of the earth. To connect your heart with the heart of the earth, the heart of Gaia, Mother Earth. And let that cord of light be wide and strong and solid, and to ground you, to pull you down into your body, and to connect you from heart to heart with Mother Earth, with Gaia, the spirit of the earth. And breathe into your body, being really grounded, really present. And as you breathe into your heart again, I'd like you to now extend the same cord that remains in place up from the heart, up through the head, through the top of the head, the crown chakra, and shooting up all the way up and up and up as far as you can go into the heart of the universe. To connect your heart with the heart of the universe and the universal Goddess. And as you have this cord of light, allow the energy to flow up and down. These cords of light down to the earth and up to the universe become like a central column of light that connects you as a bridge between the universe, Mother Universe, and Mother Earth. And I'd like you to expand that column so it's as big as your entire being. Keep breathing. Solid, strong column. And this is what you're about, being the clearest reflection of who you truly are as a bridge between heaven and earth. And be aware that as part of this alignment and this column, your heart is at the center of it all. So I'd like you to also breathe into your heart and expand your heart out like a big, 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 bright center of love and light and truth. From the deepest core, your heart of hearts, deep within the heart. And to anchor yourself in this heart. This is the center of your being. This is your spiritual home. within your body. I choose to be here now, fully present, grounded, and aware in each moment, in unconditional love and truth. Setting your alignment, connecting as a bridge between heaven and earth, and really making it clear what you're about unconditional love, truth, joy, being the best that you can be, whatever you choose for yourself, to be the highest calling of who you can be. Now I'd like you to also imagine like a golden cylinder of light, very sharp light that comes down around your being. And what this cylinder is going to do is cut and cleanse and dissolve any energetic connections that you have between you and everyone else, and anything else that you've related with, that you've thought about, because every time you think about something, you establish an energy connection. Any of these connections which are less than unconditional love. Remember, we have our protection and boundaries in place, unconditional and above only, so we have to disconnect and let go of any connections which are not about that. All the connections which are about unconditional love, they can stay. But if we keep these less than love connections, then they start to put fear into our system. They start to drag us down. They feel heavy. They suck our energies out. And a sacred woman respects her own energy and essence way too much to let that happen. So any connections you have which generally connect into the chakras of the body, let them be cut, cleansed, disconnected, dissolved. Some of the connections that cannot be cut can be cleared of any energy which is less than love. Genetic connections and sexual connections are like that. They cannot be cut, only cleared. I see these energy connections cut and cleared in light. I release all energy which is not of me, and I return this energy back to its original source, back to where it came from, with love, with wisdom. Thank you. If it's less than unconditional love, I return it. And letting go of any energy which is not yours, which doesn't serve your highest good. Nice. I hold strong, loving boundaries with myself and others, accepting only love and projecting only love. So while you accept only love, you need to also send out only love. And when you feel something less than love, you work with your feelings instead of throwing your issues at someone else. This is what I'm about. This is my truth. This is my priority. I remember. I flood my mind with light. Every thought I have is filled with light. Useful affirmation to let go of that constant mind chatter and constant mind criticism. I flood my mind with light. Every thought I have is filled with light. I have a mind, yet I am not my mind. I just have a mind. I have emotions, yet I am not my emotions. I have emotions, and I choose my emotions. I choose to accept myself just as I am, right here, right now. I, like everyone else, am just work in progress. So while you hold your alignment, your connection, your center, your protection, just make space within this sacred space of yourself to simply make room for what is here. Just as you are, with all your imperfections, with all your little rough bits, with all your unfinished business and all your wounded bits, it's okay. Because I'm here and I'm working on myself. I'm making progress. I'm having a go. I'm okay. It's okay to be all of this. And it's okay to also be brilliant and funny and joyful and clever. I am all of these things and more. I accept myself just as I am. And I release all that no longer serves me. Anything that you may feel stirring in there, any feelings, any resistance, anything that you feel, that's not serving the highest good anymore. Just breathe, just say thank you, and let it go. So that I can be more love, more sacredness, more sacred feminine, more universe. And now, I'd like you to visualize another clearing tool. I call forth the gold and platinum nets. This is like a very fine yet very strong gold and platinum mesh of light to descend down all the way through your body and your energy. And as the mesh goes down, it gathers into its net all negative energies, any imbalanced energies, influences, any energetic debris, elementals, anything that is less than unconditional love. Just sweeps through you and removes all of that. And you just let it go with the nets. And another deep breath. Now I'd like to call forth the violet flame. Some of you may be familiar with that energy. It's like a violet fire that burns all negative energies into higher level energies. It refines and transmutes negativity into energies of unconditional love and above. So imagine that violet flame, violet fire, pouring down into you and onto you and around you, burning, transmuting anything that no longer serves any negativity, refining, raising the vibration of your energy. That's a very powerful energy to work with, to become familiar with. Breathe it in, let it seep all the way down into your cells, your bones. I reclaim my right to be my authentic self in love and compassion. Really feel that. I reclaim my right to be my authentic self in love and compassion. Say that from your heart, energetically. I reclaim my right to be my authentic self in love and compassion. And I choose that all that is cleared and released be replaced with unconditional love and with my true essence. I am here now as love. I choose to be love. I think love. I feel love. And I share love. I am. Take a deep breath. Final breath. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Just slowly take your time.
Something really shifted.
Yeah.
I'm just going to purge my body of it.
Yeah. And
That's
often,
how I
you know,
feel.
the solar plexus is very much the lower will, the will of the ego.
Mm.
So, you know, it can get really churned up when you start to really clear and kind of stir stuff up a little bit. So that's a good sign.
It's
well
great.
done. I know it doesn't sound like it, but it is. It's great. So keep breathing and keep letting go and stay, you know, aligned in your column and remember what you're about. And how are you going?
I just feel really tired when I just lay down and go to sleep.
Uh-huh.
I even went off a few times.
Yeah, that can happen as well. Like, there's lots of ways that the negative ego can try to, you know, shut down and stop stuff. I mean, this is after lunch as well, so there's that on top of it. But, you know, and the ego can get you distracted, get the mind blah, 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 going, you know, can make you want to go to sleep, can make you, scratching here and itchy there, you know, so anything to stop concentrating and stop working with the energy of love and anything that's going to challenge that negative ego within yourself, which is basically the fear in you. It's nothing more than that, really. So, yeah, but good on you for staying with it. Cool. So next, quickly, what I would like to do then is start to look at, have you guys felt anything stirring a little bit during this process? Perhaps a bit of resistance or a bit of, obviously you did. Any, little emotions or anything like that stirred at all?
It's the I'll call it the distraction of next door, which isn't really a distraction because it's bringing me back to, there's that, am I missing out? They're having so much fun in there and they're talking about sexuality and and that sort of chatter about, and it's actually part of the process here for me.
Yeah.
Of just knowing that all that I need is right here. I don't need to be in that room learning more about feminine sexuality. I actually, doing a quiet, beautiful process like this reminds me that all I need to know is within me. So
Fantastic.
It's a beautiful sort of reminder of you're not missing out, you're here and
yeah.
So
Nice.
that's yeah.
Well done. See, everything can be a gift or a curse. It depends how you choose to take it and work with it. That's another thing, part of like not being a victim is like anything that happens to you, any life experience, any challenge, any, supposed, terrible, horrible things that happens, how you react to it, how you choose to take it and work with it means that you can either let it be a curse or you can turn it into a blessing. Simply by, with your attitude and choosing to see whatever gift of learning or growth you can find in it. So that's wonderful. Yeah. How are you going?
I'm good. Yeah. I found that I always have this really active imagination. So, and before, we put the energy down into the ground, connected to the self. I was down into the ground. I was up again already, up into the galaxies before you even said that. I was like, what are you doing up here? You need to be down there in the earth.
It's true. Oops.
But it was good, and I really found some nice visualization. And through it, I was like going, you should be doing this every day already. You've been knowing this for years. Manuel.
Yeah.
And then I was
what I call
like,
the inner critic, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what you
it
have to
nice.
do. Yeah.
Really good.
Fantastic.
Really good. And stuff I need to do, definitely.
Yeah. Great. So this is the beginning of how we get ourselves into space. And unfortunately, I can only give you a taste of a few things today because I only have an hour and a half, and I normally do like a whole day and evening on this kind of thing. So very condensed. But the next thing I'd like us to do is to get in touch a little bit with the wounded woman within. Okay? Because obviously we all have the ability to be amazing and to get in touch with amazing stuff within us. But we also all have certain patterns that come into sabotage or to criticize, like this, and lots of different things. And we all have had certain experiences in our lives that have been hurtful, that have made, some certain choices we've made which were wrong, so to speak. They're not really wrong, but they caused a certain consequence which was maybe damaging, There's a certain amount of wounding and hurt that we carry on from our childhood, and everyone I work with, clients and students, that I've worked with for years, they all carry a certain amount of patterns from childhood. And this is because, our parents, God bless them, they do their best to love us, but, they carry their own load of dysfunction and fears and stuff. So however much they try and do their best, sometimes it's going to come out wrong. And sometimes they're going to love us conditionally rather than unconditionally. And sometimes we're going to feel like we have to fit ourselves to their expectations in order to be loved and accepted. And then, there's obviously relationships and all these wonderful things that happen, whether it's friends that have betrayed you or done something that was hurtful for you, or, relationship with, men or women, like romantic relationships that you've been in, where your heart's been broken, which is not necessarily a bad experience because sometimes your heart needs to be broken to be able to open up a little more. So we all carry a certain amount of wounding. Perhaps some of us has gone through experiences of abuse, sexually, physically, emotionally, mentally. It can be stuff at work. It can be lots of things as well. Verbally, yeah. So verbal abuse can really affect you emotionally or mentally, and happens in all kinds of ways. And while we need to embrace love and joy and compassion, we need to also provide a refuge for the wounded woman within us to be able to heal and to let go and to release. And a lot of this process is done through really getting yourself in that sacred space like we did, and really acknowledging what is there and feeling it. Feeling is the way to healing. You know, to know that there's issue there is a big step, and it's the beginning. Acknowledging, okay, I do have something there that's really scared of opening up to other people, or that this thing there which is so angry still at my ex from 10 years ago, or whatever you're carrying, you know. And so, very important to acknowledge what's there, but then also to be able to feel the feeling that goes with it. Are you sad? Are you angry? Do you feel worthless when you're feeling into that? Do you feel, you know, very depressed or whatever? And that's okay to feel this, because the fact that you're feeling these feelings doesn't mean that you're drowning in them. Because these feelings, they're in you. Therefore, you're bigger than the feeling. No matter how deep the feeling runs, it's your feeling. You're the one in charge. You're still the boss. You're not the victim. Remember? You're not a victim. And so when we work with feelings, it's important to keep feeling them, to breathe them, and to be grateful for the gift that they bring, because whenever you allow yourself to just feel what you feel without judging it, without judging like, oh, well, that's not very good if I'm feeling this, or I should be over this already by now, all of this judgment that we carry, you know, if you just feel yourself and go, that's just how I'm feeling, that's just a fact, that's how I'm feeling, you know, whether I think I should be over it, or I think it's a good or a bad feeling, doesn't change anything, this is what I'm feeling. And you let yourself feel it, thank you, be grateful, and then let it go. Just breathe and start to let the feeling go, because once you really feel it and you don't judge it and you're grateful for it, it can start to be released. And this is when you make more space for the sacred within you to then expand and have a bit more space to play with. Yeah, does that make sense? Any questions? Anyone who's going, oh, I don't know if I can do that. No? Good. Cool. So what I'd like to do really is to take just a little while, maybe like 10 minutes, to just dialogue with the wounded woman within. So dialoguing is basically getting yourself into your space, aligned. We can again feel into that column in our center, and let yourself just go into yourself and call forth the wounded woman within, as if she was, you know, someone you could talk to. And you can do it on paper, or you can do it in your head, it's really up to you, to really invite her to speak up and to say what she has to say. And just really, at first sometimes it feels like, I can't do this, you know, sometimes you take the paper and you start to go, hello, wounded woman, you know, please tell me what you have to say, and then you go blank. It's like, okay, still not hearing anything? When it's like this, just start writing whatever goes through your mind. Don't question it, even if it makes no sense, even if it's just gibberish. And just keep connecting it to that feeling. And you feel that eventually something's going to come out, you know, and it's going to have a few things to say, I'm sure. You're going to have a few things to say, because that wounded woman is not a separate thing, it's you. It's a part of you that needs that healing and that space made for it. So grab pens, there's paper there if you don't have it, and really call forth the wounded woman from within you. And you may sometimes even see something or hear something, and just start, let it pour out, no matter if it makes sense or not. And if you have feelings that come, there's tissues here, so no worries. Remember, feeling is healing. I'm healed! You've been told. So as we finish this process, gradually, on your own time, if you're still writing, that's okay. Finish your sentences. Finish what you have to say. Just place a hand on your heart and a hand on your tummy. Do you guys know what gratitude feels like? When you're really grateful and you're like, oh, thank you, but you really mean it? I'd like you to feel that, because you can choose to just feel that. To feel that thank you. And to really send that to yourself. The wounded woman and the happy, joyful woman, both together. All of you. And let yourself be filled with that gratitude. Thank you. Thank me. Good job. It's okay. either love or joy or compassion, whatever feeling feels right in your heart right now, like a really positive feeling. And to pour that into your being, here now, grounded, present in your body. I know this is more like a quiet workshop. A lot of the workshops here are noisy and full of movements, but need a bit of everything to make a world. Great, okay, so let's look at the charter again. So, and like I said, feel free to add some of your own principles if there's anything that really resonated or that you may have found through your dialoguing or through your meditations that you want to add to that, that's for you to build on. So make unconditional love, gratitude, we've worked with those a fair bit and we've explained those energies. Humility, truth and sacredness a priority in your life. I'd like to explain a little bit about humility because that's often a word that has a lot of interesting concepts attached to it. When we say humility, it's like, I'm less than, I'm lower than, oh, I'm nothing. That's not what humility is. Humility, the way that I understand it, is really about acknowledging where you're at. No more, no less. You don't make yourself smaller than what you really are, because that would be false modesty, not humility. But you don't make yourself bigger or better than where you're really at. So in humility, there's an enormous amount of self-acceptance, because it's like, this is where I'm at. Rough bits and all, shiny bits and all. That's where I'm at, and I've gone this far, and I still have got this far to go, and I'm okay with that. Doesn't that feel good? It's like, that's right, I don't have to keep trying so hard, or I'm beating myself up because I'm not good enough, or, I don't have to negate how far I've come and all of the hard work I've put into getting this far, and I don't have to, think I'm like the center of the universe because, I've done a few things in my life, or that makes me so much better than everyone else, No, I'm no better than anyone else, I'm no worse than anyone else. I'm my own unique self on my own unique journey. That is what humility is to me. How does that feel for you guys? Mm-hmm. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Truth, we all, it's like truth. That truth in there, that truth in here too. The truth of who you really are, behind the masks, behind the layers, behind the stories that you're dragging on from what's happened and what hasn't happened and what you did and what they did, and all these stories that we just carry like a big burden. When we drop all the stories and the masks and the reasons why or the reasons why not, and we just go under the layers into our very essence, we start to touch on truth. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? To be able to then bring that out, to shine that out. Wow, I like it. Sacredness. What does that mean to you? How does it feel like? And that whole, so there's one of the principles here, which is acknowledging the sacredness within yourself and within all things, whether it's the idiot at work or, the lovely little dog and your neighbor that barks all day, or, that beautiful flower in your garden. All of that has got that essence in it, which is, the source, spirit, the universe, this earth, there's a lot of, worship of Mother Earth and the Earth Goddess. This earth is just a little planet in one big universe, and so this earth is very sacred because, she has a beautiful spirit and she has a beautiful heart, and to be able to honor the sacredness in that is very important, as is also recognizing that there's also a bigger sacredness that the earth is part of, which is the sacredness within the universe. So it's important to remember that, as we are human women here on earth, and we need to be in harmony with nature, the cycles of nature, the cycles in our body, and honor our body, because our body is part of the earth. Like, this is stuff from Mother Earth that she lent us so we could have a life experience, So we need to honor our body. If we love the earth, you need to love your body because your body is part of the earth. But at the same time, remembering, while we are this, and it's so important, there's also a part of us which goes way beyond that, which is the infinite spirit of which we are, which is the part of us which is linked back to the universal goddess. And this is, what I'd like to do, that final attunement process on, really working with that universal goddess. And don't have as much time as I thought I would. Time goes fast. So yeah. So this is, very important to me. When I do goddess work, I incorporate a lot of different expressions of that goddess energy, and I go a lot beyond just the earth goddess type of thing. There's wonderful work out there. Some women doing great work, working with the earth goddess, which is so important when, the planet is obviously not doing so well. But there is so much more as well. We have to remember we're multidimensional beings. Wonderful. So are we ready to do a final little process of attunement, feeling into that universal goddess and the deepest essence of ourselves? Okay, so deep breath. So let's really feel our contact with the ground or the chair. As long as we really feel into our grounding cord again, that connection from the heart down into the earth, grounding us, and feeling again that connection up to the heart of the universe. And allowing yourself to go just a little bit further than you think you can with that connection. This energy can feel pretty intense sometimes, so that's okay. Just relax and allow yourself to open. You will not receive more than you're ready to, so it's okay. Know that it's safe. And just open a little bit more, starting from your heart. Like the petals of your heart, seeing them open one by one. And the petals in your throat. Opening the petals on your forehead, your third eye, Ajna center. And the top of your head, the crown, opening that. Opening your solar plexus and sacral. And the root chakras, really opening your shoulders, your spine, your sacrum, your lower back, your hips. Just offering yourself up as a vessel for the universal goddess. The highest, clearest level of the sacred feminine that you can touch into at this point in your journey, your own unique journey. To really open to receive that. Remember, we still have our boundaries of unconditional love and above only, so that we connect just to that essence, nothing less than that. Allow and call forth the downpouring of this energy into your being as you, like the holy ground, welcome this energy. Allow it to enter into your body and ground through you into the earth, into the heart of the earth. Breathe this energy in. Yourself to focus in your center, grounded and present. And every time you breathe, you allow a little more. You ground a little more. Allow this energy to spread a little more, to penetrate a bit more deeply.
I am. Feel that echo in the very core of your essence being. I am. I am one with the Universal Mother. I am one with the heart of the planet. I am one with the sacred feminine within myself. I am. I am love. I am light. I am peace. I am truth. I am. Grounding it, remember, allow this energy to fill your whole energy and your body and to flow through you into the planet. Only unconditional love and above to anchor into your grounding as well. I invite Source to work within me, through me, and throughout my life. In of and full love, in service of the divine plan, in service to all that is. I choose to offer myself, if you choose to, you don't have to, but I'm offering this, putting this on the table. I choose to offer myself as a vessel for divine love, divine wisdom, divine will to flow through me in of and full love, in service to all that is. Mother, Father, God, thy will, not my will, be done. It's not about what we want. It's about being a vessel and letting the will and love of the divine flow through us. It's not for us little beings on the ground to decide. Breathing it in, expanding it, grounding it, integrating it down, all the way down into the bones and the cells. Inviting also the aspect of Source, which is the sacred masculine, to dance with the sacred feminine. The fire of the sacred masculine in of and full love. To allow your heart to attune to these energies, to the highest, clearest essence of these energies, like a tuning fork. Allow your heart to align its vibration to the highest, clearest vibration of love, light, and truth in those energies. To spark a reawakening, a remembering. You allow your whole body to vibrate like the tuning fork effect to the vibrations of these energies. Really grounding that. Holding another downpouring of the violet flame. Also, as we keep connecting with those energies, remember that violet fire that transmutes anything. Throw it all into the fire, the violet fire. Refine, attune. As you do that, just touch your body, rub your tummy, your legs, start moving slowly, your back, your chest. Breath. Gently, slowly, we're not just zooming out of it, we're just grounding with it. Just bringing ourselves really present, really here with this. We carry this, we are vessels for this.
What is I've heard of the violet flame before, but what is the concept behind it? Where does it come from?
It's like actually an energy that flows, through the universe into the planet. It's like, we can get into some technical stuff there, but have you ever heard of, it's like when you see a rainbow,
Yeah.
you have like all the different colors, the spectrum of light, the spectrum of the rays of light. And the violet flame is kind of one small part of the violet color, which is part of the light of the universe, if you like. And it's just an energy that, flows. That's there here on this planet and around, and that really, when you call the violet flame, it can really help you transmute and clear negativity into higher energy. It's a natural refiner. It kind of transforms and transmutes energy into higher vibrations.
So do you suggest actually visualising it as a violet flame?
Sure, yeah.
You spoke something about it being a masculine energy. Is that what I heard?
No.
Oh, gosh, that was in my head.
That's all right.
It's like,
it's neither masculine nor feminine.
No, that's
it's just an energy.
I heard this masculine thing, but caught my mind.
Oh,
That's
interesting.
weird.
No,
It's funny, I had a healing yesterday with a woman who works very much with the violet flame, and this just feels like an extension from that healing, just grounding that energy in.
Great.
Deeper. So thank you.
Oh, pleasure. Thank you for coming and sharing it, partaking. Wonderful. So great energy to work with. Great energy to work with.
I just wanted to say thank you for being here and bringing a light enriched session. Someone who works with the light is so embracing, and it's really nice to see, and it's not around anymore.
Thank you.
And it was just really beautiful to be in that space again. So
Wonderful. Thank you. Yes, spread the word.
yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys for coming, really. Do you feel like you've got a bit of an insight into how we can live as sacred women? Beginning steps, this is just like I said, I can only give you an insight, but you've got stuff you can work with, and you've got your own unique journey to go through. And I run Feminine Source Academy, which really it's devoted to helping women live that way and to helping women heal and empower themselves and reconnect with the essence within them so that they can shine this light and this love. And I offer online courses, anywhere from 4 weeks to 10 weeks at the moment. I do one-on-one sessions, which I can do on Skype, on the phone, face-to-face, but I'm in Perth, so that's quite a long way for you guys. But, you know, I do Skype sessions on the phone and Skype all the time. And like I said, there's CDs at the back, $20. It's about a bit over an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes. There's a discourse where I explain lots of things about self-love and self-esteem and how that works, really going into a lot of details about how to work with that, and then a process to really help you reconnect with the innate self-worth and self-esteem that you have inside you, that no matter, you know, what the little inner critic of the mind says, or whatever challenges you meet in your life, or whatever people say, you can still come back to that spot within and connect to what's beyond all the dysfunction, to remember that you are worthy and beautiful.
Yummy.
So yes, so have a look. Put your names down for the free newsletter. It's a monthly thing I send by email with lots of juicy things to ponder and things to read. And so yeah, thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.